Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video kind of just happened. I mentioned this in my initial recap where it says, a big announcement and a little recap on the Disney Wish as well as the giveaway. And I mentioned this in passing that this was an issue that I had on the Disney Wish. And that was that my hair appliances didn't work in our stateroom. And I couldn't find out if it was an issue, but then I decided, that night after I recorded that, I posted in two Disney Wish groups, specific Disney Wish groups on Facebook. And well, it turns out I'm not the only one. So if you didn't watch that video, what I talked about was that my Dyson Airwrap, which I have right here, so my Dyson Airwrap as well as my GHD Platinum Plus straightener didn't work. So the Dyson Airwrap I used on the Magic, I used on several Royal Caribbean ships, have never had an issue. On the Wish, it didn't turn on. It was just it just didn't turn on. It was completely dead. And even my husband was like, well, maybe it's broken. And I was like, oh God, please no. This is not a cheap appliance. And, but I thought, maybe it was. But then I went to use my straightener and it would turn on, but then as it was heating up, it would turn off. It never heated up. It would turn on and within 30 seconds it would start to heat up and then it would turn off and it would start to beep and it would blink and it never got hot. So I knew at that point it was an outlet issue. Tried every single outlet in our stateroom, tried, unplugging any chargers that we had. I unplugged everything. Neither of them worked. So then I called guest services. I used the chat feature and they said they were going to send out an electrician. No one ever sent, this was day 2 of the sailing. They never sent anybody. I tried getting in touch with somebody. And then finally in the chat, they said, well, the wattage limit is 1500. So I was like, okay, I guess, I didn't even think about looking at it. However, the wattage for the Dyson Airwrap is 1300. So 200 below what the limit is on an appliance. So this didn't turn on at all. And then the GHD Platinum Plus straightener is 950. And like I said, this one did turn on, but it would turn off. It never worked. I couldn't use it on the ship. So then I realized, okay, there's an outlet issue. Now, we were on the sailing before the maiden. So maybe the crew didn't know, but I couldn't get a straight answer. I even sent an email to Disney Cruise Line. I have not gotten a response. So I decided to post, after I made that comment in the recap video, I'd make a post on Facebook. So explained exactly what I just said, so I was just trying to say, has anybody else had this issue? What is it? Was I crazy? Was it our stateroom? Or is this something, something more that's going on with the Disney Wish? And well, quite a few people responded. So I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to show, but I am going to read a couple of the responses because it seems to be a big problem on the Disney Wish. So here's a couple of the comments. So one person said, sailed on the maiden voyage. Neither of my hair straighteners worked. And then somebody else wrote, mine have worked on all ships except this one. I was told, now this is hearsay. I was told it's a flaw in their electrical system and eventually would be fixed. And that it's not an easy fix. So that was somebody that was on, she didn't say which voyage she was on, but she was told that that they were aware of the problem. Then let's see, someone said, same, never had this problem on all 4 other ships, and none of my appliances worked. Another person said, same, we were just on the Wish and my beach waiver would shut off after attempting to reach the normal heat setting. That's what happened with my GHD straightener. I thought the heating element finally broke because I had it for a while and never gave it a second thought that it could have been the ship. So I got rid of it. And in case it became a fire hazard. And so she thought her beach waiver went bad. She threw it away and it turns out she'll never know because she didn't try it, but she'll never know. This is what's concerning. There's a couple people that are planning on getting married on the ship. One person is, I'm getting married on the ship and I was just going to do my own hair. And even if you're hiring your own hair and makeup artist, my hairstylist just recently did a wedding and on a cruise ship, and they, were in a stateroom. So if your hair and makeup people can't use their appliances, that's going to be an issue. It's not just about looking good, for yourself. But it's just also, if there's people getting married, this can be a bigger issue. And a lot of people said that they use their dryer, and I will talk about that in a second. Somebody said, oh my God, yes, my Dyson Airwrap would not work either. So somebody did right. I had no issues with my GH3 straightener or my Dyson hairdryer. So it seems to not be in every stateroom. There was somebody that said that they were in room 1100, which is a concierge room. And that's, I think, the corner ocean view. And everything worked fine there. I would hope in a concierge room, everything works. But so it seems that in some staterooms, things did work, but not in every stateroom. And a lot of people did have problems. Another person, my curling iron turned on, but didn't heat up. This was on the Wish this week. I almost threw it out, but when I got home, it was working fine. And that's what happened to me. We got to Pop Century, and everything worked fine. My hairdryer and curling iron worked, but my GH3 straightener would turn on but wouldn't heat up. So again, the same issue. So it kind of been the same kind of thing. And a couple things that people have said, certain products did work. So the Revlon airbrush, the hairdryer blow dryer brush, I don't have the Revlon, but I have the Foxy Bay that I got in a recent FabFitFun box. I do have that. I didn't bring that because I use an attachment to the Airwrap that's like that, so it didn't make sense to bring both. So when I go back on the Wish, I will probably bring that instead of the Airwrap, because I think that will have a better likelihood of working. Also, it seems that straighteners or curling irons that have heat settings had a better chance of working. Now, some had heat settings and they didn't work. So, but it seemed that because the GHD, which is my straightener, it just turns on and off. So it turns on and off, there's no heat setting. But some that did work, people said that theirs had heat settings where they could put it on low and it would work. And then if, so that could be an issue too. But that's it. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. It seems that there is a problem with the electrical or the outlets. I wish Disney Cruise Line would respond or kind of come out and explain, because I think this is important. We were late, if you watch my vlogs, we were late the second night to dinner, and it was just because I had gone on the Aqua Mouse, my hair was wet, and I went to, I blew dry my hair with the hair dryer, but I needed to straighten it, and I couldn't, because it was just like, and I spent probably 20 minutes trying to figure out why it wasn't working. I wasted that time. And, it was wasted time where, and I would have been, planned better. So a couple people asked, well, why don't you just use their hairdryer? And I did use the hairdryer. However, I didn't bring the proper brushes. So if anybody that has, long hair, maybe straighter hair, but that tends to get frizzy, you know that like you just can't, blow dry your hair with any brush. You pretty much need a round brush, which I didn't bring with me because I had the Airwrap with the brush attachment. I tried to use that with the blow dryer, but between it not being, conducive for that, and then having a broken wrist, it wasn't going to work. But usually what I would do is I would just blow it dry, and then I would just kind of go with the straightener, take the frizz out, and then be done. So what I will do next time when we go back on the Wish is I will make sure I bring a good round brush, which I do have. There also is a couple attachments. So I looked at an attachment. This is one that I found on Amazon. It's about $14, and it is an attachment that can go to any hair dryer and will straighten, kind of take the frizz out. So that is something that I'm hoping I will be able to use with the hairdryer on the Disney Wish. Now, will I still bring my straightener and my Airwrap? I'm not sure. I'm going to be monitoring the situation. Hopefully it's something that is going to be fixed pretty soon, but I am just going to make sure I have my plan B. And if I'm going to probably post in that same group, has anybody had issues recently? And if they haven't, then, maybe I'll try and bring it. It's a lot, this is not a small appliance, right? I do pack it in a smaller container, and, case, so I only bring the attachments that I use. But it's a heavy, and you know, fortunately we don't have to fly, we drive, but it's bulky. It's kind of a pain in the butt to bring. So I don't want to bring it for it to just take up space in the stateroom. We are sailing on the Dream in September, so I will definitely bring it on there, you know, no problem. And then I'll probably will bring my version of the hairbrush on the Wish, because a lot of reports are that the Revlon one is working. So if you have one of those brushes, or you are you are thinking about going on the Wish, or you're planning on going on the Wish, that is one that seems to be working. But another option, like I said, is with the hairdryer, you can get an attachment to kind of use to kind of straighten your hair, to take the frizz out. You know, are you going to get that straightened, you know, stick straight look that you're going to get with a straightener? No. But you know, it at least will give you something. So that is what we know so far. Now, I'm not making this video to be like, oh, there's something wrong with the Wish or clickbait or anything. I just think it's really important that if you are paying lots of money to go on the Disney Wish, that you have this information. It was it was inconvenient. It was inconvenient. I lugged all this stuff. Now, we did go to Disney World after, so I would have, but probably wouldn't have brought it up on the ship because it took up space in a small cabin. And I probably would have brought something else, like a round brush, just so I would have had something to be able to style my hair. So those are types of things where I think it's just important, so that if you are planning on going on the Wish in the near future, hopefully it'll be fixed soon, but if you are planning on going on the Wish in the near future, that you have a plan B, or that you have something that you know, or you are aware. So if you plug in your air wrap or your straightener and it doesn't work, then you know why. Like, okay, this is the issue I heard about on YouTube. So that was the reason why I'm making this. Do I think it's like a reason to not sail on Disney Wish? I think you pretty much know the answer to that, and that is no. It's probably a big issue. It is kind of weird, but as long as they're aware of it and they're working on it, then, you know, it is what it is. But again, I just wanted others to be aware so that you can have a plan B. I will say, if I hear any updates, I will post it in the comments below, and I would pin it. If I have any updates from Disney Cruise Line, or the issue's been fixed or whatever, I will put it in the description box as well as a comment, and I will pin it. So if you get to this video, if you watch this video and you don't see anything like that, that just means that there's no updates. Doesn't mean that it hasn't been fixed. It's just that I haven't confirmed or gotten information that it's been fixed. But I did want to note that if I hear anything, I will put it in the description box, and then do a pin a comment. And once we go on the Wish, it looks like we're going on the Wish before the end of the year again, and I will test and see what I hear and what works, and see if it's been, you know, I guess fixed. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.